Today, more than 3,000 Michigan residents are waiting for the life-saving gift of organ donation. As your Secretary of State, I'm proud of our department's role with the Michigan Organ Donor Registry. Our collaboration with Gift of Life Michigan and Eversight Michigan continues to save countless lives across our state. Let's hear from a few people who can speak personally about this important topic.
About 2 years ago, the kids were all down fishing by the pond, which they often do, and Colton's brother had just bought a new fishing lure. That was one of the days that Jake and I decided we'd go watch them fish.
My brother took a cast and then it went straight back and went straight into my eye.
And we loaded him up in the car and rushed to the hospital. We went right into the ER and they realized that it had kind of tore through his whole cornea.
Once I woke up, I had this eye patch on and I couldn't open my eye.
And the next decision that we had to make was, doing a cornea transplant, which we had a lot of questions and reservations. You don't really realize till that very moment when an accident like that happens what that really means. So we're overly thankful and say our prayers every night.
I was diagnosed in utero at about 8 weeks with a heart disease, and they weren't sure how severe it would be, and I went in for my first open heart surgery. That was at about 17 hours old, and then I had my second surgery at a week old. I was pretty good till I was about 12, and then I wasn't able to do much, even just walking would really make me tired, or laying flat, just simple things. And so they scheduled the heart cath because they wanted to see if they could see anything, and they did. About a week later, I started gaining lots of water from my heart, and so they wanted me to come back into the hospital up at U of M. And they ended up realizing that I shouldn't go home. They came out and they talked to my family about needing to be listed for a heart transplant because there was nothing else that they could do, no medicines or anything could really fix how sick my heart truly was. I was listed in September and I got my heart in November, so about 3 months we waited. Just the little things that you never really notice, I'm able to walk without getting tired, and I'm just blessed and thankful for my organ donor and their family.
So when I was in high school, I was diagnosed with autoimmune hepatitis. My immune system caused cirrhosis, and I went into end-stage liver failure. I waited 2 years for a transplant. Things were starting to get bad, and I didn't have a lot of time left. The doctors at Henry Ford, they reevaluated my case, and they decided that I could have a living donor, that someone could give me a piece of their liver. So we scrambled to find a donor. My sisters who live in Utah, they both flew home, got all worked up, the test results, everything to see if they were a match. And my older sister wasn't a match, but my younger sister was. So we actually had a surgery date set. The doctors, they had told my mom that if I didn't get a transplant, they didn't think that I would make it to Christmas. We were praying for something to happen because we weren't sure if I would even make it to the surgery date. And we ended up getting a phone call from Henry Ford on November 1st, and they had a liver for me. I'm here today because somebody made the decision to be a donor, and it saved my life. I would have been dead at 29, and I wasn't ready.
What happened was I found out that I had an underlying kidney disease before I became pregnant. At 5 months, I went into premature labor. After the C-section, I knew something was wrong. I had severe pain in my back. The doctor, he opened the door and he says, "Miss Cook, you're in total kidney failure." After that, I told him, I said, "I have a baby in the NIC unit." I said, "I've got to live, I've got to survive." I was on dialysis approximately 3 years. After being on the wait list for a couple of years, I was called. I was told that it would be a 2-year-old baby's kidneys. I could not comprehend that as I lay there and watched my 2-year-old child sleep. All I could think about was another parent had lost their child. I just couldn't understand it until after a couple of calls. It's bittersweet, but it would save my life so that I could be a good mother and have longevity for my child as well.
Losing my mother at the age of 1 was already tragic enough, and then suddenly this happened. My son, Emilio Defoe, at the age of 24, went into 10-hour heart surgery, but then he started having complications. Throughout the whole chaotic process, of just being in the hospital, trying to understand what's happening. He's up and down, and here comes a representative from Gift of Life. And I'm like, oh, I know what this means. And, even though I'm processing it, I'm not processing it. One thing I didn't want to do was, create a nonprofit in my son's name and, had his foundation. And then 6 months later, I done forgot about it. So the Gift of Life program is one thing that I've been given to continue to share his story and know that my son is still winning. I know that my son lives on in somebody else. I know that my son changed the quality of life for somebody else.
At Gift of Life, we work very hard to make sure every precious opportunity for donation is exhausted. We do that by fulfilling the wishes of generous donors and their families who really want to turn their tragedies into hope and new life for others. Make sure you talk with your family about your decision, and please help us raise awareness about the importance of donation in your social media network. What an awesome legacy you would leave.
At Eversight, we work to provide the gift of sight and hope to thousands of people every year facing a lifetime of blindness or poor vision. People like Colton.
As you can see from these stories, showing just a few of the many people who have been touched by this issue in Michigan, there is an urgent need for organ donation. By signing up as an organ donor, you can donate up to 8 life-saving organs, plus tissues that can improve the lives of up to 75 others. Please consider signing up today online at michigan.gov/organ donation or giftoflifemichigan.org. Thank you.